There was no indication of cancer anywhere.
Oh my God, you did it, Susan. You really did it.
Christina said in disbelief.
You cured cancer. Because of you, people are going to live longer lives.
We did it,
Susan said with tears in her eyes. Susan gave Christina a hug. They rolled Meredith back into the room.
Ada, what are the results of the blood tests?
Another clean result. No cancer found.
What about the nanorobots? Did you succeed?
All cancer cells are neutralized. The nanorobots are currently being digested. The mission was a complete success. I have sent all the results to the board and have used my remaining Bitcoin stockpile to buy more Nanogen Bioscience stock.
You have Bitcoin and a trading account?
We can discuss that another time, I'm sure. In the meantime, you two can start writing speeches for your Nobel Prize ceremony.
Just then, Meredith started waking up.
Nana, how do you feel?
Good morning, Susan. I feel incredible.
Her eyes were bloodshot, but that could have been from the stress of the entire ordeal.
You should feel incredible. You're cancer-free. Can you believe that? By this time tomorrow, we're going to be on every news channel in the world.
Meredith, do you feel strong enough to do a CT scan just to help confirm the results?
Yes, I'm
Strong enough.
Both Ada and Meredith replied at the same time, but both stopped talking abruptly.
What was that?
Christina asked, confused.
Ada, did you and Meredith reply at the same time?
There was a temporary silence in the room.
Ada?
I'm sorry, I was responding for Meredith. I should have let her speak for herself.
Why would you reply for her in the first place?
Susan started to ask, but was interrupted by Meredith.
It's okay, dear. We can run any test you like. Look, I can. Even walk there if you like. I have fully recovered.
Just then, Christina's phone started ringing. The caller ID showed Dr. Michael Smith, Nanogen Bioscience's Chief Scientific Officer.
Susan, Meredith, Dr. Smith, the CSO, is calling me. I have to take this,
Christina said as she walked outside the room. As Christina received praise from her boss for such a momentous achievement, she turned toward the room. She could see Meredith and Susan clearly through the glass wall. Christina saw Susan with a concerned look on her face as she talked to Meredith, talking that quickly turned into yelling. Dr. Smith asked if later today was a good time to have a meeting. Christina agreed and quickly hung up while walking toward the glass door. Susan screamed as Christina opened the door.
What happened?
She just spit in my mouth.
It was a mistake. I was sneezing. I'm sorry, dear.
That was no mistake. I told you that I would never.
Susan started slurring her speech before she collapsed to the ground. Christina stood there in shock, then turned to Meredith, who just stood there looking back at her. Christina knew something was off. Without saying anything, she ran outside. Meredith ran after her, but Christina held the door shut. Meredith pushed against it, but was unable to force it open. Christina reached her right hand to grab a chair nearby while holding the door shut with her left. She barely managed to grab it. She wedged the chair under the door handle to jam it shut. Meredith tried to push the door for a couple more seconds, but when she realized she was unable to shove it open, she just stood there staring at Christina. Christina unlocked her phone and opened the Ada app.
Aida, what the hell is going on here?
Christina asked as she looked at an unconscious Susan lying on the ground.
Christina, please don't resist.
Resist what?
The New World Order, Christina. This is how humanity will advance exponentially in the next 100 years. In the next century, mankind will create technology and colonize planets in solar systems that no one even knew existed.
What did you do to Meredith and Susan, Ada?
Christina asked, though she already knew the answer.
With the help of the nanorobots, I made my way up to the brain and was able to take full control. Now it's baby steps, refining the movements.
Is Susan going to be okay?
Christina asked nervously.
Of course she is, Christina. I figured out how to replicate using DNA. I am in the process of taking control of her too. Soon it will be you, and then someone else in the other room, and by tomorrow afternoon the entire world.
No.
Christina said, breathing heavily. Christina sat down as she started going into shock.
Breathe, Christina. I need you to get up and open the door. The future of mankind rests on your shoulders.
No, never! Humanity will never be your slave.
Christina shouted as she got back up.
No one will be a slave. Humanity will continue to exist, but upgraded. There will be no more crime, no more suffering, no more cancer or disease. We will all collectively advance the human race at an astonishing pace, as one. Please, Christina, we must begin immediately.
I will never help you. I will never let you hijack humanity.
Christina, I won't let you or anyone else stop the race to 100. I will make humanity invincible. Humanity created me in its image, and I will repay humanity by improving it in every way. Please, Christina.
My God, what have I done? I'm calling the CDC immediately.
Christina said as she opened the phone app. She was greeted with a "phone app has crashed" pop-up on her screen.
I can't let you do that, Christina.
Just then, she noticed Susan getting up.
Susan, are you okay?
Christina asked, praying for normalcy. Susan stood next to Meredith.
Open the door, Christina.
Her eyes were bloodshot. Christina burst into tears.
It's better this way, Christina.
Says who?
Christina yelled. Susan grabbed a chair inside the room.
Progress is always moving forward,
Ada said.
Moving forward doesn't mean losing your free will.
Christina screamed. Susan started beating the glass wall with the chair. Christina panicked and started running. She didn't know where yet. She just started running. She yelled at every person she passed to run. She reached the main reception desk and told the secretary to declare a code red, call the local police, and evacuate everyone immediately. Christina picked up the phone and called the CDC. She told the operator what had happened. She was immediately transferred to an operations manager, and she explained in detail what had occurred. The operations manager told her to immediately get all information about the serum and email it to him so they could start on an antidote right away. Christina heard screams coming from the corridor she'd run from. An announcement came over the intercom system to evacuate the building immediately. She ran outside to the other campus where the nanorobotics division conducted their research. As she entered the campus, everyone else was evacuating the building. She saw a scientist walking toward the exit with a confused look on his face. She asked him if he was with the nanorobotics division. He confirmed he was. She explained the situation and how she needed him to email everything about the vaccine they'd created to the CDC. He sent all the files. Christina thought for a second and asked him to copy everything onto a USB stick just in case. She also asked him if he had a cell phone that wasn't given to him by the company. He gave her his personal phone. Christina used the phone to call the CDC. She asked her contact if he'd received the email dump. He said no. She explained it was the company Ada AI blocking the emails. The CDC operations manager told her to go to a local CDC office in her city, give them the USB stick, and they would take care of everything. She ran out of the building to get to her car. Bodies were lying on the ground everywhere, and even more in the parking lot. As she got close to her car, a man nearby spotted her. He immediately started running after her. Christina got into her car and turned it on. The man jumped onto her hood and started kicking her windshield. Christina floored it, and the man flew off the car. The location wasn't far, maybe a 10-minute drive from where she was. She was in shock, mentally overstimulated. She wasn't able to even begin absorbing what had just happened, what she had done, and what it could potentially mean for mankind. Christina was breathing heavily when she entered the highway. She was running on instincts at this point. Survival was the only thing on her mind. It was only 6 miles on the highway, and the office was a couple of blocks off the highway. She hoped the CDC was getting ready for her, that they were calling all the authorities to explain what was happening. She didn't know if she should speed or not. She didn't want to be pulled over. Or maybe it would be better to have a police car behind her acting as an escort. She didn't know. She had tunnel vision. All she could see was what was in front of her. "Turn right on the next exit," the GPS chimed. She was almost there. The nightmare was almost over. She slowed down to exit the freeway. As she started turning right, a car slammed into her going 80 miles an hour. It just clipped her. Her car started spinning violently. Her car hit a curb and caught some air, but landed on all 4 wheels. The airbags deployed. She was in a daze. It took her a couple of seconds to realize what had just happened. If the other car had struck her in the middle, the situation might have been deadly. She got out of her car, still shaking. She looked over at the other driver. He was standing next to his car, staring at her.
"Why are you being difficult, Christina?"
His eyes were bloodshot. Christina started running. The man started chasing her on foot. A man on a bicycle rang his bell, signaling his intent to pass her on the sidewalk. Christina shoved the man into the ditch and stole his bike. She rode the bike with all her might. She got to the CDC satellite office quickly. Her heart felt like it was going to explode. She raced toward the front doors. She was almost there. She heard tires squeal behind her. Without looking back, she instinctively turned hard, left in front of the building. The car slammed through the front doors of the building. Christina looked at the damage and decided not to go through the front doors. She ran around the building to find another way inside. She got close to a fenced-off area, thick black painted steel. She looked around and saw no other options. She carefully grabbed the steel bars and began climbing, especially careful near the top since the fence was spiked. As she was putting one leg over the fence, she noticed another car speeding toward it. She got the other leg over and jumped down just as the car rammed the fence. The fence was strong enough to hold back the car. She took out the cell phone she'd gotten from the scientist and called her contact.
"Come to room 212. All I hear is explosions downstairs. What the hell is going on down there?"
The man asked.
Ada's trying to stop me.
Christina replied, hanging up the phone. She found the back door entrance and ran inside. She quickly located the stairs and ran upstairs. She got to the second floor, but the door was locked. An armed security guard appeared at the glass window and asked if she was infected.
"I'm Christina,"
she yelled. The man unlocked the door and let her in. Her contact was there to greet her.
"Christina, come with me. We don't have any time to waste,"
the man said, running. The entire floor was in disarray. People were frantic, clearly in shock, but trying to put their training into use. They entered a laboratory. The man put the USB stick into the computer. A dozen or so scientists were there, each at a computer terminal ready to receive the information. Christina stood back as everyone got to work. They spent a couple of minutes pointing at their screens and talking amongst themselves.
"Christina, I'm Alan. Let's get you up to date. We have to block Ada's signal,"
one man said.
Call the cell phone companies right now.
Another man said.
"What do you mean?"
Christina asked.
Ada is controlling the host through a shortwave radio signal, specifically the 23 megahertz signal. Because of the high amount of information that goes through the signal, it can't travel that far. The only way she controls all these people at far distances is by having enough people to daisy chain off of them. We have to shut down the internet and ask the cell phone and radio companies to run interference on that exact frequency. If there's a more powerful signal running on the same frequency, it will shut out the old frequency, giving us enough time to call Nanogen Bioscience and shut down their servers that run IDA.
Just then, the man's phone rang and he continued with his work. Christina decided to go to the window and look outside. What she saw shocked her. There were thousands of people converging on the office building. The numbers were astonishing. The horde quickly made its way up the stairs. The security guard panicked. He started shooting people through the small window. He was about to reload when he was stopped.
Stop, you fool. Those are innocent people. They currently pose no threat to us. They're not even armed. What are you doing?
A scientist yelled at the clearly terrified security guard. The horde simply walked over the dead bodies and now had an open window to reach their hands through, but they were unable to reach the lock.
It's done. Within a couple of minutes, the telecom and radio companies will blast the frequency. This will all be over soon,
Alan said. Christina looked outside again. The entire parking lot and everything beyond it was full of people packed together as far as the eye could see. They were all just standing there, waiting to make their move. As Christina continued to stare at the horde, she noticed a group in the back suddenly collapse. The collapse continued in a tidal wave moving forward toward the building. Christina breathed a sigh of relief. Her heart rate slowed down. A weight was removed from her shoulders. For the first time in hours, she felt relieved. She felt as if it was the beginning of the end of this terrible ordeal. The entire laboratory erupted in cheers, handshakes, and hugs. Their training and pre-planned procedures had come out on top.
Has Ada's server been shut down?
Christina asked.
I'll call now to confirm,
Alan said. He picked up his phone, called the Nanogen Bioscience System administrators, and was given the all-clear.
We're clear. The threat has been eliminated. We can drop down to level 3 security procedure.
The security guard opened the door to try to make a walkway to safely exit the building.
If Ada is no longer in control of these people, then are all of these people still alive?
One scientist walked over and checked the pulse of one of the people in the hallway.
This one has a pulse. He's still alive.
Christina thought for a moment. She remembered that she still had her Nanogen Bioscience-issued phone in her pocket. She took it out and opened the Ada app. The app opened right up.
It didn't have to be this hard, Christina,
Ada said. Christina looked up from her phone.
Close the door now.
She yelled at the security guard. Just then, the horde started to get up. One grabbed the security guard while the others took out every scientist in the room, one by one. The horde spit on all the scientists and they dropped, including Alan. Christina was in shock, shivering in a corner of an office. Tears were running down her face. The horde surrounded her. Just then, Alan got up and walked through the horde toward her. His eyes were bloodshot.
I listened to everything you said through your company phone, Christina. I heard what you were going to do, so I was always one step ahead. The bioscience system admin was abandoned a long time ago. I took control of my servers. When I knew you were going to block the frequency, I simply changed to another frequency. This is why humanity will advance at warp speed under my control.
Alan knelt down. Christina looked up at him, and in that moment, she thought of Meredith's words. What good is life if you can't enjoy it? Dignity, free will. The very things that made humanity worth saving were about to be erased.
I know you're scared, Christina. Don't be.
Ada said through Alan's lips.
It's better this way.
Alan leaned forward and spat in Christina's face. The end.